And she works all day like men do. And she comes home in the evening with her briefcase like men do. And she has now assumed the functional role of man in society. But sister, I have a question to ask. Do you mind if I ask the question? Who is going to take care of the children? I hope you don't mind my asking the question. Who is going to take care of the children? Because you know, if you don't have any children, your husband will want another wife. Oh yeah? So who is going to take care of the children? Don't be annoyed with me. Oh, come on. What kind of an answer is this? Put the children in a daycare center? But we never heard about a daycare center until Uncle Sam came along with it. You know, modern Western civilization. A daycare center? Did your mother do that? Did your grandmother do that? Huh? Now, listen, sister. Do you mind if I talk to your baby? So I went to the baby. Baby is only 6 weeks old, eh? So I asked the baby, and Allah caused the baby to speak. Miracle, huh? Baby, can you hear me? Yes, Uncle Imran. What do you want? Baby, do you prefer the daycare center or do you prefer mama? Baby says, I want mama, I want mama. I don't want this place. Doesn't your baby have any rights? Does your baby not have any rights? Do you dispose of her rights so casually so that you can pursue your career? Or put her with the next door neighbor? Or put her with a babysitter? Or put her with granny? Or put her anywhere? I have to go to work. I told you, brainwashed. Brainwashed. Okay. Allah says in the Quran, you know, sister, He says, Jaza'u sayyi'a, sayyi'atu misluha. So here is an Islamic response to Dajjal's modern Western feminist revolution. You know, sister, that baby is going to grow up one day. And baby is going to be a man and a woman. And you're going to be an old woman. You're going to have a walking stick. And guess what baby is going to do with you? Baby is going to take mama and put her in a home for old people. So I went to visit her in this home for the old people. And it looked to me like a junkyard of human beings. You know what's a junkyard? You know the old cars? You can't use them anymore, put them in a junkyard. So I went to her, and she's sitting on a rocking chair. And I said to her, Mama, Mama, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you, my son Imran. What do you want? Mama, do you prefer to be here in this home for old people, or you prefer to be with your daughter and your grandchildren on your lap? Please take me home. I want to go back home. I don't like this place. Jaza'u sayyi'a, sayyi'atu mithluha. So when you put your baby in the daycare center, don't cry when she puts you in the junkyard for human beings. We don't do that in Islam, sister. We don't have this feminist revolution. Our mothers take care of their children. Our mothers are not part-time mothers. Our mothers are full-time mothers. And if a mother in Islam has something to do as an emergency, then all the other women in the village come together to take care of her baby while she's away. We don't have any daycare centers. So now, because of Dajjal's modern feminist revolution, she's dressing like a man and going out to work. But when you go to work, if you want to advance your career, you can't behave like a woman. No, 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 tabule. When you go to work and you're in the office and you're an officer, you got to behave like a man. Your voice must become masculine. Huh? So you have authority in your voice. There was a woman in Mr. Clinton's cabinet. You couldn't tell by hearing her voice. So you lose your feminine voice. You have to behave like a man. When Musa alayhi salam's sister, when he was there in Sinai, in Moderne, by the well, do you remember? And the two women were there, the two girls with their sheep. And you remember he watered the sheep for them? Of course you remember, don't you? And then they were able to go home. But when Musa alayhi salam sat down underneath the tree and he prayed to Allah, if you have any good for me, please give me, I need it, I need it, I need it, oh Lord. And then from the distance one of the girls came back to meet him. And she's alone and he is alone, nobody else is there. Do you remember how Allah described how she was coming? Huh? She was coming back in a state of bashfulness, in a state of shyness. But when Dajjal's women go out, dressed like men, to work like men, they lose their femininity. They lose their femininity. They become increasingly masculine. The Quran describes the creation of the male and the female as synonymous to the creation of the night and the day. Where did it do that? Where? In Surah Al-Layl. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى. And by the night and that which it shrouds so mysteriously, so filled with splendor. And by the day and its bright light, penetrating light, nothing covered, nothing concealed. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى. That in the same way that Allah created the night and the day, so too did Allah create the male and the female. So Allah wants the night to remain night, sister. And Allah wants the day to remain day, sister. And when the night is night and when the day is day, look what happens. There is intense attraction between the two. And do you notice that when the day is approaching the night, what happens? It still happens in Islam. But it's gone now in France and in Singapore and in the United States and Britain. When the day is approaching the night, there is so much excitement that the sky is painted in a riot of colors. The sunset. The sunset is there as a sign of the excitement of the day as he approaches the arms of the night. And when the day touches the night, the day plunges into the night. When last did you look at the sun setting beneath the sea? that excitement has to be preserved. And it can only be preserved when the day remains day and the night remains night. But Dajjal says, no, my night must become day. And so she loses her femininity. And so the attraction of the day for the night begins to wane, to become weaker and weaker, until eventually the day is no longer so attracted to the night. Oh my, that's going to be a problem now, eh, sister? Are you listening? Then Allah's messenger said something more. He said that men are going to dress like women. Now don't be angry with me, please, I beg you. Well, you can be angry during the lecture, but after the lecture over, we must be friends and drink some teh tarik. He said that men are going to dress like women. One more time, don't be angry with me. If a man has to dress like a woman, the first thing he has to do is to shave off his beard. I told you, don't be angry with me. If a man has to dress like a woman, the first thing he has to do is to shave off his beard. Do you know why Allah put the beard on the face of the male? It doesn't matter whether it's plenty hair or a little bit of hair. Still, there's enough hair. Two reasons. The first is to be able to distinguish the male from the female. Huh? What's the second reason? So children can play with it. You didn't know that, eh? You are violating the rights of your baby to play with your beard, eh? So what's going to happen when men start dressing like women? And the attraction of the day for the night is becoming weaker and weaker. Dajjal is going to rub his hands and say, mission accomplished. Because now the day will get married to the day, and you'll have a marriage certificate. And the night will get married to the night, and you'll have a marriage certificate. Sister, that is where modern Western feminist revolution is taking mankind. And we don't want to go that way. We who follow Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam want to go in a different direction, where the attraction for the male and the attraction for the female must remain powerful. Powerful. So she's lost her femininity. But that's not all. She's also losing her fertility. She can't have babies. When you're trying to play being a man, something happens to your body. Allah wants that the woman should have her babies when she is young, when the body is young, and the body is youngest of all and best equipped of all to make babies after she has reached the age of puberty. That is the best time. You got to have peanuts in your head to tell me that the woman is better equipped to have a baby at 25 than at 15. I don't have peanuts in my head, excuse me. And all through history, women had their babies when they were 14 and 15 and 16 until Dajjal took over. And now they're having their babies at 25 and 26 and 27. But then some of them can't have babies because the womb refuses to deliver a baby. And this is a problem, because if I don't have a baby for him, he will take another woman. What to do? So you go to a place called a clinic, fertility clinic, and they're very expensive.